Hello, everybody. Just finished color touch-ups on these two necks that are getting reset, and I figured show you something real quick in my spray booth here. This is a little trick I came up with when I built this spray booth. It's a matte black board. It's like a chalkboard. You can buy these at Home Depot or Lowe's for like $3. And what it allows you to do is really see your clear coats, so you can really dial in your spray pattern on there when you're doing your clear coats before you actually spray on a guitar. Now I've been too busy to make any videos lately, so I figured I'll take you with me to see if the chickens can be moved, and I'll chat about a few things on the way. We started building my spray booth right before COVID. The plan is eventually to turn this lean-to, which is where we used to store tractors, into my final shop. And we were kind of in the midst of all of that when COVID happened. Lumber tripled in price, and so we hit the brakes on my new shop. But what the spray booth has allowed me to do is just get back into doing lacquer work. It's freed me up. I've been able to move stuff down there, so my smaller shop is now a little less cramped and everything, so that's good. This is our pasture, and over there's our hayfield. And I guess what I wanted to talk a little bit about is just life and unexpected changes. You know, I ended up here on this farm. I never thought in a million years that I'd be a family man or a farmer. And, you know, I guess back in 2018, I had my beautiful 1,700 square foot shop in the city. I was doing a lot of repair work, a lot of restoration. I was building guitars, and everything was going really kind of how I planned it. And then I moved to the farm, and I was commuting. I was spending like 2 or 3 hours a day in the car. It's kind of driving me crazy. I was getting road rage and everything. And I was coming up to the end of my lease, and come here. And I had to decide if I was going to continue. Jeez. Don't act like you want to see me or anything. So anyway, I was coming up on the end of my lease, and I had to decide if I was going to renew my lease for another 4 years and do that commute and really commit to 4 years of that, or not. And after a lot of thought, I decided that it was healthier and happier to just be here. The problem is we didn't have a shop here, so I had to cram this 1,700 square foot shop into a 325 square foot unfinished addition in the house. And it was tough. You can build guitars in a small shop. If you're starting out, I don't want you to feel discouraged. I know of a number of really fine instrument makers who work in small, modest shops. The problem is that once you've built all your tooling and your processes in a larger space, it then becomes very hard to cram that into a small space. So I ended up having to basically like restructure how I built instruments. At the same time, there was some family stuff going on, personal things. My wife Jade, she decided she wanted to leave her job, and that was a challenge for us. And also just as a human being, I was growing. I had a family now. I had different priorities. For the first time in my life, I felt like there was more to my life than just building guitars. And it sounds weird because I'm so grateful and happy how everything ended up turning out. but it was hard. It was hard emotionally because for 13 years, all I cared about was building instruments, you know. And so what I learned through the process of transitioning, of stepping back a little bit, letting off the gas, doing some other things like getting into farming, uh, was that, well, I learned two things. One is we have a tendency to tether ourselves and wrap our identities around what we do, especially if we're creative careers, especially if we're in creative careers. We spend so much time alone, so much time focused on what we do that it's just hard not to tether our identities to it. The problem is that once something goes wrong, you get knocked off your track, or life changes, life throws challenges at you, you start to have kind of like an identity crisis, you know? How you doing, ladies? You all in for the night? And that can be really tough. And that, I kind of went through that a bit when all of this first, you know, when these changes first started happening. And that was really hard. And because I had left California, I didn't really have a lot of luthier peers around me to help me get through that. And it was just tough, you know. But the second thing I learned is that it's okay. You know, life is not a straight line. Our careers are not straight lines. And, you know, I never thought I'd be a family man. I never thought I'd be a farmer. And, you know, these things just kind of came at me out of left field. And I'm glad that I had the wherewithal and the mindset to sort of embrace them and approach them with open arms, because they ended up being the best things that ever happened to me. You know, I love being a dad and a husband, and I love living on the farm and, you know, working on the farm and having my shop here on the farm. And so the big lesson is, and I don't know who needs to hear this, but somebody out there needs to hear this right now. The big lesson is that you gotta let go a little bit. You can't try to control your life too much. Embrace the changes. Keep your goals in front of you, but understand that the path to those goals might not be what you think they will be, or what they might not be what you think they should be. And that's okay. And just let life happen. Don't wrap your identity up in what you do, because there's nothing that really is good that comes from that. I think it ultimately restricts you. I think it blocks your creativity. It blocks your ability to see opportunities that are in front of you. And yeah, I just I'm hoping to get another video done here shortly. I think I might do one on, I'm replacing a 12th fret inlay on a guitar. My client wants me to do like a scrimshod signature in it, so maybe I'll videotape that and do a video, but I just haven't had time. I've been trying to catch up with a backlog of work. So anyway, this is all I got for you today. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope someone out there needed to hear this today. And you know, just keep trucking. Life will surprise you. Let life surprise you, and enjoy the ride, you know. Because this is way better than being in the city, I'll tell you that much. All right, subscribe and like if you like this content, and if you like some of the other content I made, and I'll see you guys later. Take care.